Hey, this is me building a $3 million a year business in public. The way these videos work is I start with some Q&A, and then I round it out with some growth stats, and then finally we do some live strategy at the very end. This is my main channel. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. People seem to like it. This is the daily updates channel, and I'm just answering questions, start from the bottom up. Sanjay says, hey Nick, thanks for the great content. Can you suggest what are the best and cheapest services for cold email? I'm looking to send in bulk, like more than 100,000 to 200,000 per month. So sure, let's break that down. So what is 100,000 emails per month realistically? Assuming you have, let's just say you're sending 7 days a week to make my life easy. That's 3,333 emails a day to presumably new leads. You're not just doing, like total email volume, including follow-ups. So the current recommendation is you send between 20 to 30 emails per mailbox a day. So if I just say 30 to make my life easy again, what's that? About 111 mailboxes? Let's just say 100, just again, to make my life really, really easy. So if we want to send 100 or set up 100 mailboxes, what sort of options do we have? You can check out cheap inboxes. There's premium inboxes, there's Inboxology, and there's Zapmail. I think there's Hypertide as well. It's probably the main ones right now. And this is where I would go. So let's go Hypertide, let's go Zapmail, let's go Inboxology, and then we'll go premium inboxes and cheap inboxes too. This one here, 100 inbox minimum for $2.50 a month. And these guys set up like Google as well. So what's 100 times $2.50 per month? That's $250 per month. So for $250 a month, approximately a little bit over, plus the instant leave thing, you could the cold email mailbox infrastructure cost. That's going to, cold email software like Instantly or Smart Lead. It's going to be $250 a month plus that. This one would be what looks like $350 a month for premium inboxes, but who knows? Maybe they're premium. I don't know. This one looks like it would be $300 per 100. Okay. This one looks like it would be, and you're going to want Google Workspace for sure. This is 300 as well. You can go annual, go 250. I don't recommend annual on anything in the cold email space just because stuff changes so quickly. And it looks like this one is 100 inboxes for $50 plus the implementation fee. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. You have to pay them for a one-time implementation cost. Anyway, these are the services that I would use. Then I would go to the Instantly pricing page. Then I would see if I wanted to send, you said 100,000 emails. So they just launched a new feature called Super Search, if you haven't seen that already. 100,000 would be this, right? So hypergrowth is fine. So it would just be, let's go monthly again, $97 for that, plus probably like 250 to 300 it looks. So you could probably get by with like $350 a month. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how I would do it. Jared Orgeron says, better yet, fix your funnel so you have to slam leads while having them wait. There's only 3 CTAs for Facebook ads. You need all 3 for every ad. Number 1, call in now. Number 2, book a call. Number 3, schedule a call back. Time block for later in the day or the next day and confirm via SMS before the call. At no point should you ever take their info and call them back. Why would you ever run ads to get live leads, then kill them by making them wait for you? Then create opening objections and whatnot to where you have to chase them. It's a complete waste of time and money. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty crazy, but like you're literally spending, he's referring to like Facebook ad, pay-per-click. You're literally spending money every time somebody clicks on your thing. If, I don't know, it takes 10 clicks at $3 a click to get a lead, that's $30 a lead. Like, you have to treat that like gold. Not only is it $30 that you've spent, but the potential upside on a mid to high ticket service is like $5,000. So the value of that lead to your company is like $5,030 or something. You got to get to them immediately, man. And it's like, what's the mental calculus? Like, what's the bookkeeping on how much money you should be paying a human being to be available 24/7 to do that? Like, it actually usually works out. Like if you have the lead flow, you have the PPC, then definitely find a way to get, oh my God, that's a lot of spam. Find a way to get like real humans to do it. All right. So immediately after this, I received, just so we're all in the clear here and we all know what the hell's going on. You guys see, just pause that. You guys see this video here. It has 1,300 views and then 930 upvotes. So basically, immediately after I got 900 upvote or 900 likes in like a second, the graph just spiked. I got a bunch of these comments using the term Belzari, 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 Belzari. So I'm thinking this is like some spam automated service that's trying to rank this dude, Belzari. Well, I don't know if it's a dude. I actually have no idea what this is. It's trying to rank this thing, Belzari, to the top, I take it. So I don't know what this is, but anyway, obviously these aren't questions. Okay, Garvin says, "Hey Nick, I really do appreciate the effort you put in the information provided across both channels, as this is far from my realm of knowledge as a biology grad. I now work in medical sales, particularly with podiatrists, dermatologists, and neurologists. My question is, what types of automation systems do you think would be of value to these types of clinics? Aiming to target this niche and use these frequent in-person interactions to my advantage in terms of proposals. Hopefully you see this. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts." You know, man, it's a shame you asked about this because I almost explicitly do not work with doctors for regulatory reasons. I just find it's like a massive pain in my ass trying to sort all of this regulatory stuff out, dealing with like HIPAA and so on and so forth. So I'll be real. It's kind of tough for me to advise you here because I don't have too much experience with this. Obviously, like I've worked with like dental before. I've worked with some medical clinics, but it's just not like long term, you know. If you have two choices and one is like a regulated industry where there's some potential downside and every one of your clients is worried about these regulations, and then the other is like B2B digital agencies where it's like the wild, wild west and you can do whatever the hell you want. Nobody really gives a shit. Yeah. Which one are you going to work with, right? Obviously, I'm going to work with the B2B agencies. So that's kind of the path that I've taken. Regardless, it sounds like for you, you might have some sort of unique advantage in that niche, which I get. So what do you use for these types of clinics? I mean, same thing as any sort of like clinic-based flow. So your front of house staff, your secretaries and your, you know, phone staff and call center staff or whatever, most of these people suck at treating leads like the gold that they are. If you are in, I take it you're probably in the United States where it's like a pay per, you know, like a fee-based service. You know, if you want to book like a dermatology appointment, the lifetime value of you as a customer to that dermatology clinic could be like $100,000 or something. So just like the example I provided earlier, where you're a $100,000 lead, the people on the front desk, they have to treat you like gold, and they should. What does that mean? It means picking up every time that you call. It means if they miss a call, they have to call you back ASAP the second that they can. It means sending text to follow up. It means using plausible deniability to say, "So sorry, we just missed you. I just tried to give you a call back. You know, hey, it's Sandra from whatever clinic. I just missed you. Just giving you a call back here. Feel free to ring me anytime in the next half an hour. By the way, because we missed your call, I wanted to give you this thing, some free little thing." Like you got to treat them like gold because they're money. There's the closest thing to a giant gold bar that you can. So yeah. So what are some systems that can do that? You could do some sort of like automated instant text back system for missed calls. That's pretty cool. You could do some sort of reactivation system where you have like some sort of SMS based reactivation. You could do some sort of follow-up scheduling where like it's the doctor that's doing the following up on your scheduling. "Hey, it's Dr. Tamari. I'm just checking in on our appointment, you know, at 8 a.m. on Monday. Looking forward to seeing you." This adds a ton of perceived credibility and then value and then relationship building from the doctors. Yeah, like tracking is very important. So a lot of these companies don't have any tracking put in place. To be honest, it's like the same, yeah, like, you know, same marketing stuff. I work with a marketing company that works with dentists, and like one of the highest ROI things that they do is they literally just get like a tracking phone line, like a tracking number, and then they hook it up to so that it's a pass through on all the calls that come in. And then they just know like, where are we getting our calls from? Are they coming from ads? Are they coming from some sort of other thing? Are they coming from referrals? I find the value with these sorts of services is less automating, and it's more just like process optimization, to be honest. So hopefully I've given you an example of that. All right, Masoom says, "Hey Nick, right now doing another LinkedIn outreach thing using 5 accounts, about 100 connection requests per day on each. Nice. I start by warming up the conversation with genuine compliments, curiosity before ever mentioning what I do. It's all about building real connections first and sharing the offer naturally. Looking forward to hearing your insights." So you want me to like rate this, eh? I mean, it's tough for me to say specifically on whether or not this is a good idea because it really does depend on the implementation. I generally don't like doing the real connections first strategy because I find like people just feel a little bit misled. If I'm like, "Hey man, I've been following you for a really long time. I love what you do. Just wanted to connect," or something. And then like, you know, 2 days later, I'm like, "By the way," you know, I don't personally like that vibe, and you know, I've done enough of it that I could see through it. So some people are going to like it though. And if you do it intelligently, obviously you can make anything work, right? This just means that like, you know, if you're sending 100 connection requests per day on each, like if your total limit is like managing 100 conversations per day or whatever, then you'll actually only be able to do 50 new leads a day if you have to also send another message to try and sell them stuff, right? Anyway, the Dale Land wants to connect with you, Masoom. Hit him up. Mark Friedman says, "Always learn 1 or 2 things from your videos, even when I'm distracted while watching." Man, you're pricing me out of your community. By the time I start generating income again, I'll have to become as rich as you to afford it. Yeah, tell me about it. Maker School membership, $10,000 a day. Nah, I'm just screwing around. Not Sujan says, hey, Nick, just finished reading The Egg. Yeah, awesome. He just had 2 questions. Sorry for the long questions. Hope you don't mind. It's okay. I don't. When I joined Maker School, I saw in Maker School that I need to spend around $600 for tools when I joined Maker School on top of the subscription. Is this true? Because I'm from India, so even a $50 is a lot here. What do you think I should save up before I join? No, I think 600. It depends. So there's like there's my recommended where I'm like, this is what I would do if I were in your shoes. And I recommend that you send like 10 Upwork apps a day, for instance. By the end of the first month, I think it's like 270 or something. 270 Upwork apps, to be clear. You're spending like, $2.50 per each. Like, yeah, that's a ton of money. What I've noticed is very few people really do that in practice. Most people send on average like 2 to 4 Upwork apps a day. So they round out the month at something like, I don't know, between like 60 to maybe 90. So, I'm there in the corner like bad. You should be doing more, higher volume, because Upwork sends don't just benefit you in terms of closing rate. They also benefit your ability to articulate the benefits of the service because you're getting a bunch of practice on recording videos and so on, right? It's not just about the actual me getting that first customer. It's like we're also stacking skills. It's very accessible. There's a lot that goes on under the hood, to be honest. But yeah, just Upwork Connects alone, you'd still be spending like $150 or something. So you're going to have to, if you want to do Upwork, you're going to have to spend money on the platform. That's kind of the equation, right? It's still the cheapest way that you're ever going to do it. And the benefit there is, whereas with a lot of other software platforms, you have to spend like $200 on the software. And then maybe you'll make the money back in the next month. With Upwork, it's not $200 at once. It's like, I'm going to spend $20 today. Then I'm going to spend $20 tomorrow. Then I'm going to spend $20 again. Oh, and now I got my first client that pays me $100. So my capital outlay was $60 for the Upwork apps, but I got some really tiny, shitty first project that paid me $100. So I'm actually already making a profit. Mind you, it's a $40 profit. It's not a lot. But as a beginner, that's the big thing, right? You're usually not well resourced, and you just need some sort of feedback. That's the whole idea. So yeah, is it $600? No, it's not. And it just, I give people like free ways to do the same thing too. Like, instead of sending Upwork apps on the platform, send like Loom videos with the same approach that are under 5 minutes, because that's free on Loom. You do have to delete your videos after 25. You just delete them once a day or something. Then you can just send infinite cold emails and DMs. Okay? Speaking of cold emails and DMs, yeah, this is exactly what I mean. Should I offer a free service to start? Oh yeah, and what do you think I should save up? I don't know, man, like $100 or something like that, probably. Maybe like $100. Should I offer free service to start with a guaranteed paid one? How to position my offer without social proof to back up what I'm promising them? Should I offer a free service to start with a guaranteed paid one? Well, that's a good question. You should take what you can get. Try doing the guaranteed paid, definitely. And a lot of the time, like most of the time, that's going to be enough. If you really suck, like you're not going to be able to build enough value in your service to get people to the point where they feel convinced enough to part with their money, and they're going to offer to do some performance basis thing, which is what most people that receive really shitty cold email offers will say. They'll be like, well, sure, I'll do it, only if you get paid when I get paid or something. It's like, all right, like, yeah, that's fine. The downside with that is, if you do that as a beginner, you end up with like a bunch of liability because now you're paying for software platforms. So the only situation in which I would actually say yes to that nowadays is if the customer were cool with paying for instantly and the mailboxes and everything. Because if you think about it from that perspective, it is just free upside for you. You get to learn on the job, basically. And then if you do well, you also get paid for it. But if you have some mounting software liability every month, I've had a situation with one of my first coaching clients where he was paying, I think like $100 a month, and we paid it for 6 months, and he delivered all the results he said, but the client like never ended up wanting to pay him for it. So eventually he's like, all right, I'm just going to, shut down all your mailbox. So we shut him down. The client got really pissed off. He's like, what the hell? My mail, everything was going so great. So it's like, well, yeah, man, you probably should have paid the thing you told me to pay, that you would pay. But if you have to have that constantly, then obviously it's not a good idea, right? All right. Anyway, I hope this makes sense, my man. I know you've left a lot here, but just for time purposes, I'm going to keep on going. Oh, interesting. Oh, dude. Well, I can't wait to see you, man. And I'm sorry to hear about the international payment access. They're weird. They're weird. Yeah. Apologies on that. I have no control over it. Oskilla says, hey, Nick, thanks for the videos. One of your previous main channels, you mentioned the clients don't want blueprints and systems. Is the implication here that instead of directly providing them with the automation template I've built, I should just expose a trigger or endpoint for them to query, thus abstracting away all the complexity? Thank you. No, definitely not. Definitely not. When I say that customers don't want blueprints and systems, what I mean by that is they don't want you just to send the blueprint to them, because now you're positioning yourself as nothing more than like a code monkey that is thrown a scope and then you respond with some system. The system doesn't mean anything to the customer. The system is a cloud-based thing. It's ephemeral. It's vague. It's like drag and drop. It's modules on a screen. It means nothing to your customer. Your customer is a neurologist or a podiatrist or a dental clinic or an HVAC person or a digital marketing agency or a recruitment agency or a coach or a consultant or something. They deal with fundamentally different things than you do. So you don't want to give them things that makes that make sense for you. You know what I mean? Like, you want to give them things that make sense for them. So what makes sense for them? The deliverables. If you're a coach or a consultant and you're trying to grow out on a YouTube channel, let's say like me, what's the thing that I care the most about? I care about the content. I care about YouTube titles. I care about some videos that you're editing for me. That's what I care about. So don't give them the blueprints. From their perspective, the system doesn't even really exist. It's just a black box. There's what the hell's in there? I don't know. Whatever. But I know that when I feed it a title, it gives me a hook and then an outline to a video. Or I know when I feed it in a YouTube URL, it just gives me a bunch of social media posts that I could repurpose. So that's how I use it, right? That's what you should be giving clients. Give clients the deliverable. Give clients the output. Give them like the PDF. Give them the new lead notification in their email inbox, the new lead notification in Slack. Give them the SMS that shows them how much money they made in the last week. If you have some reporting automation, give them that stuff. Okay. That's what I mean. So you took it in the opposite direction. You're like, oh, well, maybe I need to make it even more technical. No. You need to make it way simpler. They don't care about the blueprints. They don't care about the systems. They care about what the systems do for their business. All right, I think I'll leave it there. And we're going to go jump on brand stats here. I'll check out Blast Up, but let's just tabulate my growth over the last 24 hours as per usual. If I go on the main channel, it's 107,757. Wonderful. Is this the first? Yeah, this is the first sub 1,000 day in a while. Damn, that's, well, no, that's, you know what? I lied. It's not at all. It's not at all. Still though, it looks like consistently growth has slowed objectively. I wonder why. My main channel was doing 2,000 a day up here, and now it's down to like, 1,000. I could just be reaching the top of the market like I was doing before, honestly. So one thing that most people here probably won't know is one of the reasons why I moved over to N8N content was because I was legitimately capping out. I was reaching basically every human being that had signed up to make.com at the time, and then was on the internet looking for stuff about it. So, I was ranking first for basically all the make.com stuff because, I took the same approach I took to N8N and like business consulting, where I just like, I learned the platforms really well, and then I just like talked about them a lot, and I produced like a video a day for a really long time. But anyway, because Make's like market penetration and their growth was just way lower, yeah, I only ever got like 120 subs a day. Like I never got more than that, aside from a couple of viral spikes. So I wonder if the same thing is now happening with just AI automation or something in general, or I'm just hitting like a market saturation. I'm hitting the cap. Man, I really wish I didn't miss these days. That's one missed day. I guess we can call that a missed day if we want. Okay, I really only missed one day. These are like an hour or so after midnight, and this one was an hour after midnight too. But still, like, am I just reaching saturation here? It really is coming out to like about 1,000 a day now. They're gonna say that I grew by 963, obviously, because my daily updates are at a different time. But like, yeah. What I need to do is I need to get back to these days, the 3,000 days. Let's go 90. This isn't post N8N arc. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so when did I start publishing? Well, I guess more than a year now. Jesus. Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I made my YouTube channel forever ago, but I didn't like start publishing consistently until it was like February the 1st, 2024. So let's go to. Let's go 2024. Let's go 01. There you go. Should be the very beginning. Right. So check this out. So obviously I had my little first initial spike where I like got myself on the map talking about make.com stuff. And then check this out. Look what happened. On average, I never got more than about 100 or so. Keep in mind, I was publishing for a fair amount of this. There's some periods where I die way down, like I'm at 60 here, where I, was not publishing. But yeah, I just couldn't make it past that. Okay. And I'm banging my head against, well, what the hell's going on? I'm making all this content, super consistent, whatever. And then I was like, wait a second. What is the growth rate of N8N versus make.com right now? And then I found it and I was like, Then he jumped up. Then I had a relative period of, well, actually, sorry. No, this isn't true. This isn't when I did. I just had some viral video here or something. Then here was when I found it, January the 19th, 2025. Okay. Then I was like, I'm not getting, back to the hundreds. I don't know what was viral about this. I think I made a video where I was like, I made all this money. That was probably it. Yeah. People like that. And then over here, I was back to the 120 a day and I was like, I'm hitting market saturation. And then I was like, wait a second, N8N. And now I'm accessible and reachable to a much wider audience. And so instead of the 50 to 100 I was getting, now I'm at 300s. Okay. And then over here, I was hiring out my team. So I had a little bit of a gap. So you guys could see where there just wasn't no consistent content being published. Then I hired out the team. I had couple of bumps initially, but then constant content, nonstop every day. And now we're at like 2 or 3x. And then a couple weeks ago, I peaked at like this 2,500, 3,210 in 24-hour period. That was huge. And then, it appears that I don't know if I'm stabilizing at the 1,000 mark. I mean, like if you zoom out this much, it becomes clear that this is could all just be a blip, right? Tomorrow I could shoot up here. But yeah, total views are definitely way down. So that's something to consider. Yeah. Well, they're not like way down, but compared to the peak up here where it was like 61,000 in 24 hours plus 50,000 the next day, which is 110 in 48. Now I'm at 81, right? So yeah, worth considering. Looks like my most ad day was 749.99. Very suspect number. I wonder why I didn't go past that. All right. Well, anyway, that's enough just staring at numbers. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? I'm kind of curious. Yeah. I mean, the same theme plays out over and over and over again, I think, where it's like, well, how many new people are coming into make.com, N8N, or AI and automation in general every day? How big is the market opportunity, right? It's like, how many people are there really? I don't know, mathematically. I'd be interested in finding this out, but like 3,000 or something? I'm not sure. It's probably a few thousand, right? So maybe it's 2,000 or something right now. And then half of them watch YouTube videos. So it's like, oh, there's actually 1,000 people a day that I can realistically get off the top after I've hit like saturation within a niche. I haven't hit saturation within a niche, mind you, but like assuming that I do, it'll be, about 1,000 people per day, which means that my next growth limit might be 1,000 per day. If it's 1,000 per day, then right now I'm growing at about, 0.1% or so. In the future, in order for me to maintain like a 0.8% growth rate, which was my goal growth rate, which you guys could check out on the daily update video a couple days ago, 48 hours ago or something. In order for me to maintain that, I'm going to need to find a way to increase the growth rate. And so eventually, just making more content about a particular topic does not help. When you've like thoroughly just a niche, you're like, you've cornered it. It's like, well, now you have to do something different. You have to corner another niche. I have a good playbook here, which is I just consistently publish content at a very high level every single day for a long period of time. And then I just inevitably win. So that's my playbook. It's a very simple idea, but the strength is in the execution, right? Like nobody else they can try to copy me. And then when they do, they just usually fall off after like a week or something. They're like, Jesus, I can't continue doing this. But, do I take this playbook now and then do I use it in some other niche? Is that what I do? Not like niche. I mean, like, do I take this playbook and then, I don't know, I start expanding into like no code vibe building tools? That's something that a lot of people are doing now. It's obviously blown up. Do I take this niche and do I take my approach to a different niche? Maybe I pick up like another AI automation tool or something and I get proficient with it very quickly, like a Lindy or something, or Gumloop or whatnot. The cool thing about the business niche, like the agency niche, is the agency niche feeds into the business niche, and the total size of the business niche is much larger than the total size of the AI automation niche. It's just there are proportionally many more people interested in the AI automation, the degree of interest multiplied by the people that are interested, the number of people that are interested, like that formula there, the output of that is much higher than the same thing for just general business, because business has been around forever and there are only so many times you can rehash the same concepts. Whereas AI automation is presumably new and innovative, and it's like, if I pitch this system that does XYZ that you could sell for this, like that's something that's fundamentally new to a lot of the audience. It's not just a rehash of a rehash of a rehash like most, how to make money online videos. So yeah, I'm just trying to play around with my head of what I might be able to do there. Nothing extraordinary is coming to mind, but yeah, I think if I conceptualize it that way, obviously as niches get more saturated, it's much easier for a niche to get saturated on YouTube than it is for in business, right? Like my reach is massive on YouTube, but it also means that if somebody else comes into my niche and then does the same thing, the town ain't big enough for both of us, which isn't true. It's big enough for a lot more people than you think. But yeah, as people go in, then proportionally I will get smaller proportion of the total market share that is learning about this product and wants to jump on YouTube. So that's something to consider as well. I don't consider that an existential risk, but worthwhile. And yeah, I think this, I've seen this pattern happen 3 times now, okay? Where I jump into a niche and then there's a massive explosion in subscriber count. It's like a big bump after I make a video about something different. Here, bump, and then it dies down again. And presumably the bump is because the content is really high quality, so I get shown to a bunch of other people in the niche that haven't seen me organically yet. But then I just get shown to everybody in the niche, and then it gets all right, well, now the only people that are seeing your videos are new entrants, right? Boom, big bump. Then it's just okay, 200 to 300, 200 to 300. And then maybe that's my new number average. Then it's boom, another bump. Oh, now it's 500. Boom, another bump. Now it's 1,000. So yeah, anyway, just doing some philosophy, I guess, on YouTube. Thank you guys very much for the support. The gap between me and then the next the next best school community just continues to grow. So I don't know how high this is going to go, to be honest. I'm sure at some point, Maker School is going to have to cap out. I think it's just like math, right? Eventually market demand and supply and churn and stuff are just going to cap me out at some number. But I don't know if that's going to be 250K. I don't know if it's going to be 275K. I don't know if it's going to be 300K. I'm going to keep on being extraordinarily consistent regardless, though, because when you're doing a wave, when you're catching a wave, you got to keep it up, right? But I'll keep you all in the loop, and definitely join Maker School if you haven't already. I'm going to continue increasing the price. Another price change today. Have a lovely rest of the day. I'll catch you all tomorrow.